Hi, I'm Sir Michael, and you're watching Valenzuela Facebook Live for English, your online classroom, streaming directly to your home from our city's pride, Valenzuela City School of Mathematics and Science. Today, we're going to discuss another topic under the most essential learning competency: compose clear and coherent sentences using appropriate grammatical structure. Our focus will be on modals, with the curriculum guide code EN61E-3.6. You still remember the drill before we start? You need to comment your name, school, and your section down in the comment box for your attendance. I will be giving you 30 seconds to do it. Time starts now. Start our discussion today, I will ask you to answer this question. Okay? What would you say to your teacher if you need to go to the restroom? Type your answers in the comment box. You have 1 minute to answer. Go! So, according to our moderators, most of you have answered the line, "Ma'am or sir, may I go to the CR or washroom?" Okay, so if your answer is similar to this, then you are correct. This line is asking for permission, because as we all know, if we want to go outside of the classroom, we need the permission of our teacher. Since our earliest years in school, we were taught to always ask for permission and be courteous. That is why we need to properly express or communicate our thoughts in a manner that is understandable and courteous. Great job! Now, there are lots of ways to communicate thoughts and ideas while talking. Depending on the intention of these ideas, many different words or groups can be used to express what a person wants to say. One of these groups of words is the modal verbs, or simply the modals. What is a modal verb? The modal verbs in English are very particular. They share some characteristics that make them unique, but all of them have the same principle in common. They talk about modality, which is the attitude the speaker has about the situation he or she is describing. This means that by using the modal verbs, person is able to communicate different claims while stating the commitment they have to those claims. Some of the modal verbs are can, could, might, will, would, shall, should, and must. In English, modal verbs are used to express ability, possibility, permission, or obligation. Each one of the modal verbs can be used to express one or more of these modalities. They can also be used to form the future tense in English and to make conditional sentences. One of the particularities of the modal verbs is that they don't work by themselves. On the contrary, they have to be accompanied by another verb in order to make sense. The main function of the modal verbs is to modify another verb to fit one of the aforementioned modalities. When using the modal verbs, the infinitive to shouldn't be written in the sentence, and the second verb will always go after the modal that is being used. Each one of the modal verbs has its own use, meaning in English. Most of the time, each modal verb can have more than one use, and in these cases, their meanings can vary. Let's start with the first modal. The modal can. Modal verb can is used to express ability, possibility, to make a request, or to ask for permission. It can even be used to make an offer or a suggestion. Additionally, in its negative form, can't or cannot, it can be used to express inability or impossibility. Examples of modal verb can when used in sentences are, okay, can you come home early today? Can you help me? I can call you later? Elliot can fix the phone? Howie and Lisa can jump very high? Billy can play the piano since he was 6 years old? Lisa can come early if you want. She doesn't have homework today. Let's talk about the other one. Could. This modal verb has many different possible uses. It can also be used to talk about ability and permission in the past. Also, just like the modal verb can, the modal verb could can be used to make questions, requests, suggestions, or offers, but in a more polite way. It can also be used to talk about possibilities, but not as strong possibility that one expressed with can. Its negative form is couldn't. Examples of modal verb could in a sentence are, I could go to the market with you if you'd like. Next, could you pass me the salt, please? Christina was free at the moment, so she could go to the movies with her. Could I go play with Lisa? I couldn't jump high when I was little. It could rain tomorrow. Now, let us compare can and could. The modal can means be able or permitted to do something, while the modal could refers to the possibility or ability to do something. The modal can is also for things in present, while could is for things in the past. The modal can sounds informal when used, while could is more polite. Let's talk about the modal may. The use of may as a modal verb is to talk about permission in the present, to make suggestions, and to talk about possibilities as well. However, may is much more polite than can or could. Its negative form, may not, is often used to talk about not giving permission. Examples of the modal verb may when used in sentences: may I go to the restroom, please? Mary may go to your party later. May I help you with anything? I can't help you with the homework, but your brother may be able to. May be a good idea to go to school early. Elliot may not stay out of home late. Let's talk about the modal might. The modal verb might is used to express possibility in the present of or in the future. It can be used as the verb may most times. However, it often means that the event has less possibility of happening than when it's said using may. Negative form, might not, is used to talk about possibilities but in a negative way. Examples of modal verbs might when used in sentences are I heard that tomorrow it might rain. Don't call Lisa right now. She might not be at home. Nico has a new dance teacher that you might like. Elliot might need your help later. Billy might go to Canada this summer. This art class looks interesting. I might take it. Between modals may and might, may is used in situations which are factual and likely to happen. On the other hand, might is used in situations which are hypothetical and unlikely to happen. May is used for seeking and granting permission, but might can only be used to seek or ask permission. It cannot be used in giving permission. Let's go with the modal will. The main use of the modal verb will is to form the future of the verbs in English. However, it also has many other important uses like to talk about wishes, requests, demands, to make predictions and assumptions, to make promises, and to talk about spontaneous decisions, and also to talk about habits. When talking about demands and requests, the use of will sometimes is not as polite as other modal verbs. Its negative form is won't. Example of modal verb will when used in sentences are the dog will play with its tail for hours. Do you need help? I will help you. Look at the sky. It won't rain later. Billy thinks his team will win the championship. I don't have my phone here, but I will call Elliot as soon as I can. Will you turn off the light? Now the modal verb would can be similar to the modal verb will. Both are used to make wishes and to make requests. However, would is a much more polite way to do so. It's also used to talk about habits in the past, to make arrangements, state preferences, and to make invitations. Examples of the modal verb would, when used in sentences, I remember I would stay awake all night reading when I was young. Would you open the window, please? I would like to sing, thanks. Would you like to play basketball with me on Sunday? I would rather have water, please. Would you prefer dark or white chocolate? The difference between will and would will be about the usage and as to whether they are polite or not. The modal will is used commonly for all sorts of wishes, requests, demands, predictions, etc., while the modal would is used to situations which we only imagine or of things that happen frequently in the past. In terms of politeness, will is not as polite as other modals, while would is a polite modal to use. The modal shall. This modal verb is more common in British English than in American English. It's usually for making offers, suggestions, to talk about options, and to ask about what to do, but in a very polite way. Negative form, shall not, is used to talk about things that are forbidden or not allowed. Examples of the modal verb shall I help you with your bags? Great, let's meet later. Shall we say 3 p.m. then? You shall not forget to bring your bike. He shall be replaced with a new music teacher. Shall we begin eating? Now the modal should. As A modal verb, should, has many important uses in the English language. Used to give advice, to express what's right, and to recommend an action. Also, it's used to make predictions, but ones that are more uncertain than those with the other modal verbs. Negative form is shouldn't. Examples with modal verb should used in sentence: we should arrive on time if we leave now. Lisa thinks that we should meet on Thursdays. Should I stay here? The kids should start studying soon. I think you should buy a blue car instead of a red one. Maybe we should check everything again. Shall means something that is intended to take place in the future. It expresses determination and it also expresses certain laws and rules. Should in general is used when the past tense of shall, but the usage is very occasional. Independently, the modal should is not used in the past tense. Now let's talk about the modal ought to. Now this is one of the less known modal verbs and it is a synonym of the verb should. But it's less frequently used than this one. It's also used to express advice and obligation. Examples with modal verb ought to in sentences are: it's raining, you ought to drive carefully when you leave. Lisa ought to help her sister when she moves to her new house. Bowie, you ought to help Baby Bot with her homework. All the players ought to be on field after lunch. Okay, and last, the modal must. The modal verb must is the perfect option to talk about necessity. Also, it's used to talk about possibilities, but in a much more certain way. Additionally, this verb can be used to talk about advice and recommendations. Examples with the modal verb must, okay? I must go. I have a doctor's appointment soon. You mustn't use mom's tablet without her permission. Lisa has been studying all day. She must be tired. The new film is great. You must see it. Billy must be a teacher. He knows a lot about science. Now, between ought to and must, ought to is used when we talk of a moral obligation or duty and in a formal manner. Must, on the other hand, is used to express the need of the hour or necessity, which has to be done and more on the legal side. Now, for our activity, let us answer an online game. Type the letter of your answer in the comment box. Okay, I hope you enjoy this. Let's now begin.
Choose the correct answer. 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 Choose the correct answer.
Did you enjoy the game? What was your score? Type your scores in the comment box. As a summary, number 1, modal verbs talk about modality, which is the attitude speaker has about the situation he or she is describing. Modals are used to express ability, possibility, permission, or obligation. They can also be used to form the future tense in English and to make conditional sentences. They have to be accompanied by another verb in order to make sense. Using the modal verbs, the infinitive to shouldn't be written in the sentence. Second verb will always go after the modal that is being used. Can means be able to or permitted to do something. Could refers to the possibility or the ability to do something. Can is informal, while could is polite. May is used in situations which are factual and likely to happen. Might is used in situations which are hypothetical and unlikely to happen. Will is used for wishes, requests, demands, predictions, etc. And is not as polite as other models. Would talks about situations which we only imagine or of things that happen frequently in the past. The modal will is also more polite. Shall means something that is intended to take place in the future. Terminations and rules and laws. Should is the past tense of shall, but the usage is occasional. Independently, should is not used in the past. Modal ought to is used when we talk of a moral obligation or duty and is formal. Last, must be used to express necessity, which has to be done. It is used in legal. My dear learners, if you have reached this part of the lesson, please tap the heart button in the comment section for me to know you're still there. Thanks. Okay, so we are now on the part of the live stream where, just like before, I will answer some of your questions written in the comment box. I will give you 1 minute to type in your questions below. Please do not ask questions that are not related to our topic today. 1 minute starts right now. We are now going to read some of your questions from the comment section and I will try to answer them for you. Question number 1. What are modals? Okay, thank you for the question. A modal is a type of auxiliary or helping verb that is used to express ability, possibility, permission, or obligation. They are used to show the level of possibility, indicate ability, show obligation, or give permission. Modal verbs behave differently to ordinary verbs. The most common modal verbs are will, would, should, could, may, can, shall, ought to, must, might. Okay? Those are the common modal verbs. I hope that these answer your question. Okay? Okay, so question number 2. What is ought to? The modal The modal verb ought to is one of the less known modal verbs, and it's a synonym of the verb should. Very seldom that we hear and use that modal verb. Okay, but it's less frequently used than this one. It's also used to express advice and obligation. In addition, ought to is used when we talk of a moral obligation or duty. And this word is a very formal word, used in a very formal manner. So I hope this clears your question. Um, okay, so I think we don't have any more question. Okay, I would like to thank all of you for your participation and all your questions. Just keep them coming. Remember that learning starts by asking questions. And just like before, tomorrow is your follow-up discussion with your subject teacher. Please be there, okay? To all my fellow English teachers watching, the link for my PowerPoint presentation is on the board. You can download it by logging first your DepEd email address, then on the other tab, enter the URL to gain access to the file. Use DepEd email only. Okay, by the way, we have an important announcement. For the next 2 weeks, you will meet our new live streaming teachers in English 6. I would like to introduce Ma'am Charlotte F. Gapas, representing Wawangpulo Elementary School, and Ma'am Ira E. Robles, representing Karuhatan East Elementary School. So, stay tuned next week. Same time, same group, well a Facebook Live for English 6. I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson. Tune in again for the next live stream of the Valenzuela Live for English 6 for quarter 4. Again, as our Secretary of Education, Leonor Briones mentioned, everyone, say it with me, in any situation, learning must continue. Stay home, stay safe, and God bless us all. This is Sir Michael, your live streaming teacher for Valenzuela Facebook Live. Thank you and have a great day.